What's up, guys? Trail here, better known as Budget Bill, and this is your third stimulus check update and stimulus package update for Friday, February the 26th. Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. Today we have some breaking news as well as some big news that's coming later on today. The Senate parliamentarian made a final decision yesterday, and the $15 minimum wage increase is no longer part of this stimulus bill, which means today the House should have no problems in passing this bill, so it can be sent over to the Senate for their review. We also have a new proposal to a minimum wage for $10 per hour. Could this be a bipartisan deal that both chambers are ready to make? Also, we heard from Majority Leader calling this stimulus plan overwhelmingly popular, but unfortunately, the Minority Leader said that the Democrats are just working backwards. But never mind all of that. Let's go ahead and talk about this today. But before we get started, if this is your first time to the channel, hey, welcome and glad to have you. On this channel, we talk about finance, real estate, credit cards, and stimulus update news. So if you want to be a part of it, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to hit the like button for me. It really helps out, and it only takes a little second for you to press the like button, as it really helps out the channel. Now, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. What's up, guys? We are on the verge of making history as we continue to plunge on passing a massive stimulus bill that will provide millions of Americans additional relief aid to support their families, pay a few bills, and put food on the table, and hopefully prevent evictions and foreclosures. As the U.S. continues to fight the virus during this pandemic, Americans still need support and assistance to get them through the end of the year. And today we expect the House to pass this stimulus bill so that it can be sent over to the Senate. But let me rewind a little bit, because yesterday they made a decision that the $15 minimum wage needed to be removed from Biden's stimulus plan. Now, this should be no surprise to anyone, as we already knew that this was a possibility. I told you guys several times on previous videos, and especially in order to get this stimulus bill passed into legislation. And now we know that the $15 minimum wage increase that progressives have been pushing for so long is no longer a part of this stimulus package. Now, those efforts are not completely lost. They can still recreate another bill in an attempt to raise the minimum wage as well. In fact, the Republicans actually introduced a separate bill that would raise minimum wages to $10 per hour. Now, this is obviously lower than the $15 initiative, but I believe this is a way that Republicans are trying to work with the Democrats in a bipartisan way. My boy Mitt Romney and Senator Tom Cotton introduced a bill that would raise minimum wages to $10 per hour by 2025. Mitt Romney said, "For millions of Americans, the rising cost of living has made it harder to make ends meet, but the federal minimum wage has not been increased in more than 10 years. Our legislation would raise the floor for workers without costing jobs and increase the federal minimum wage to $10 per hour, automatically raising it every 2 years to match the rate of inflation." And I sort of think that this is fair. I mean, I wanted the $15 minimum wage, but as a compromise to get a bipartisanship, I think this is a great start. At least we have Republicans wanting to raise minimum wages for the regular folk out there who are struggling right now. So we will see if this bill gets traction outside of the stimulus bill, and hopefully this can be done quickly in the near future. Now, regarding the stimulus package, it looks like it's clear blue skies ahead in the future of passing this bill. We knew that there were going to be some concerns on this bill regarding the 50 votes by the Democrats with the minimum wage increase. Joe Manchin and Kirstine Sinema both opposed the $15 increase and stated that they would not vote in favor of this bill for that specific reason. So now that it has been removed, there should be no issues receiving those votes from them. Today, the House will be voting on this bill, which is very crucial to passing much needed relief aid. They need all 50 Democrats to vote in favor of this bill. They can't afford to lose one vote, because if they do, this bill will die on sight. Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi have stated numerous of times that they are confident that they will have enough support for this bill to pass. And with the removal of the minimum wage increase, that's even better right now. And we actually heard from Chuck Schumer, and this is what he said.
Put our foot on the gas to end the pandemic as quickly as possible, get our economy back to normal, and repair the damage that's been done. That's what the American Rescue Plan is all about. It'll deliver the resources to keep small businesses afloat, Americans in their homes, teachers, firefighters, and other essential employees in the public sector on the job. It'll send a direct check to Americans struggling with a once-in-a-lifetime financial burden. It'll boost vaccine distribution, and it'll provide funding and guidance for schools to reopen as quickly and safely as possible. That last point in particular should appeal to my Republican friends who have been raising concern about school closures. We all want the schools to reopen safely. We are all worried about the cost of virtual learning on children and parents. The solution is simple. It's not giving a speech here on the Senate floor. It's not criticizing teachers or school administrators. It's giving school districts the funding they need to reopen safely. It's expensive to reopen safely during the COVID crisis. We want to do it as quickly as possible. And it's hard to understand. Our Republican friends are saying, open up the schools, and I won't vote for any money for the schools to do just that.
And we can expect this to happen today. The House should pass this bill, and then it can be forwarded over to the Senate for review. This massive bill is powerful. We need this bill. You need this bill, and I need it too. It's needed to prevent 11.4 million workers from losing their unemployment benefits, to prevent 40 million Americans from being evicted, to prevent 18 million children from hunger. I think that's more than enough reasons, guys. However, the Republicans continue to criticize this bill as being too large, too much extra beef, and no longer needed, as the latest budget report showed stronger economic recovery is underway. They believe that we don't need any additional stimulus relief aid right now, but it doesn't matter. They are going to push this bill through with no support from Republicans, and Americans who are struggling right now will be very pleased to receive a small token that can go a very long way. But stay tuned, as this bill should pass later on today. And if not today, then on Saturday. I will keep you guys posted as usual. Now, in other news, we have another state offering $600 to its citizens who are struggling right now. Well, they haven't really signed the bill as of yet, but it was passed by the Senate yesterday. New Mexico has introduced its own pandemic relief bill that was passed on Thursday with a 51-17 vote of approval. This bill would offer low-interest loans to businesses and nonprofits up to $150,000. This is for businesses with a net revenue of $5 million per year, and individuals would receive $600 in the form of tax rebates. So if you live in New Mexico, there could be additional relief aid headed your direction. I will let you guys know when this bill is passed into legislation. And last but not least, I have some interesting findings that I thought were pretty interesting to know. So I thought that I would share them with you. I was reading how CEOs from the most wealthiest companies in the world actually support President Biden's stimulus relief bill. Top CEOs of like Google, Zillow, BlackRock, Visa, and more actually support this massive stimulus proposal. Apparently, about 150 chief executives signed a letter on Wednesday urging the Biden administration for more government stimulus, which Biden wants to offer more stimulus, but he is trying to perform a balance act between both parties. He doesn't want to just be a bully and shove everything through just because he is the president. He still has 4 more years in office, and he will need the support of Republicans later in his administration. Additionally, there are still some talks around a 4th stimulus checks in the near future, but we will talk about that later on another video. And with that being said, this has been your 3rd stimulus check update news for today. If you enjoyed any of this information or found it to be useful, be sure to hit the like button for me. It definitely helps out a lot, and it tells YouTube to share this video with others. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for me so that you can be a part of this community, and hit the notification bell to be notified of each new video. Again, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.